We are back in the Europa League Thursday, 11th March. Arsenal up against Olympiakos. Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. How are you guys doing? It is the evening edition of the Arsenal update, and we are going to be discussing Mikel Arteta's press conference. He was interviewed with Thomas Partey. I didn't get the reason why, but the interview has so many words of from Thomas Partey, and yeah, it's quite interesting. I mean, the first thing is we are in the round of 16, and that really means a lot if you're going to win the Europa League, like Thomas Partey has been saying. They've discussed so many things: Emile Smith Rowe, the transfer gossip around Arsenal, and Partey's relationship with Granit Xhaka, how they are pairing together. Does he hate Granit Xhaka? Because if he was my partner, I don't think we would be on the best terms. And someone accused me of not liking Granit Xhaka, but you get it wrong. The video was about the problem with Granit Xhaka, not my problem with Granit Xhaka, because the difference there is when I'm looking at my problem, I'm basically looking at things that are really personal. But I try to analyze the statistics and what Xhaka offers Arsenal, and where I think is not good enough. That's what I try to do in that video. But smash a like on this one and subscribe to the channel. Let's go down into some of the details in this press conference and see what exactly did these two talk about, because I think in such a press conference, and at times I really get disappointed. I already told you. In such a press conference, I expect so many questions around Olympiakos, around the Europa League, but many journalists go on to ask questions around the Premier League, the last performance, the coming fixtures, how hard they are, and all those things. But anyway, let's try to see what went down in this press conference. First and foremost, Partey on how his game has changed under Mikel Arteta. He did say that when you look at how I play, I like to create spaces for my teammates. I like the ball with me and to go in the attacking phase. It's something that they see in me. They've got me here and to do more of that. So I think when I'm on my feet and when I'm able to give 100%, I'll be able to give more, which is very important for the strikers and all the attackers to be able to enjoy. When you look at how I play, I like to create spaces for my teammates. Of course, they did repeat this, but and I think. Oh, look! I didn't see much of Thomas Partey at Atletico Madrid. I saw some highlights, but I think for me, he's a number six, a DM that is very, very advanced. So, and I think that is what Mikel Arteta wants: someone who can press, and someone who can work very hard without the ball. So I think his role just fits into Mikel Arteta's, press and blueprint. Partey on his preferred role, what does he want to play? He says, I think as a player, you like to enjoy the game and you like to have a good game every game. It depends on how you approach the game. It depends on what the coach wants from you in that particular moment. And as long as it helps the team to improve and get the results, I'm happy to do that. He did talk about adapting in England, and he said it has not been easy. I have to learn so many things. I have to know so many places that I can do my stuff and visit my family. But with the situation, we have to adjust a little bit and wait, and we hope everything becomes okay, so I can be able to know more places there. So that is Thomas Partey. On adapting in England. Talking about Granit Xhaka and his partnership, he said, I think he's a great player. We all know he works hard for the club. He works hard for the team, for his teammates. When he is on the pitch, as we all know in football, you never know when you're going to have a bad game, and it's part of it. We have to keep rising and raising and raising each other, fighting for each other, and that's how we are going to have a good game and win matches all the time. On his injury frustration, he did say that yes, it was a difficult moment to get to get used to how the team play. I think the injuries are part of the adaptation, and now I feel good. I'm doing all the necessary ways to be able to be more fit and be able to play more games for Arsenal. Now, the big man, Mikel Arteta. and his remarks. First and foremost, he was asked about the Socrates reunion, and he said, "I'm looking forward to seeing Papa. He's such a good character, very popular player here. He was liked and loved by everybody. It was a pleasure to work with him, such a pro. It's true he knows what we try to do, but but there isn't a magic formula. I'm sure he will try to do his best, and we will do our best as well." That is on Socrates Papastathopoulos. Of course, he left Arsenal in January and did go to Olympiakos after his contract was terminated or cancelled after mutual agreement. Arteta on the defeats to Olympiakos last year, he said emotionally it really drained us because it was a roller coaster during the game. And with and with what happened, it could have ended in a beautiful way, but it ended really harsh, in a really harsh way for us. I think emotionally, it took some time to get the team and some individuals lifted because it really hurts. Speaking about Sean Dyche's complaints about Alexander Lacazette screaming, he said, "I don't comment on what other players do. I comment on what our players do and focus on that. The same as I don't comment on other managers or other players or how they use their strength or weakness on an opponent." Arteta on whether he will still encourage his team to play out from the back. This is ridiculous, isn't it? Because I think this question comes as a result of that mistake Granit Xhaka committed over the weekend. It was a ridiculous mistake. I mean, how many times does it happen? But I don't want to go on Xhaka. I think he's been consistent, and I will reward him for that by giving him some respect. And he said, "I will always do that as long as we all the time follow our principles and the rules that we have. It's the way we play. When we decide to play, when not to play the type of football, we have to play with the right distances, the right feet. If not, we do not play." Arteta on frustrations in the Premier League. He says the points that we lost in the 3 games against Wolves, Aston Villa and Burnley sums up a little bit of our season. We should have got much more from those games and we would be in a different position. But the reality is, in the end, we don't have the way to win, and we have to find the way to win and be consistent every 3 days when you produce those performances. It's the biggest margin that we have to improve upon. Arteta on the revenge over Olympiakos. I'm not seeing questions I like. I don't know whether you people think, because for me, I expect questions on directly onto the game, but they're not there. I mean, they're just not there. And of course, talking about his revenge, he says it was really tough, a tough one to swallow. The way it happened at the end of the season, it was really cruel after everything we did in the 2 games to lose in the way we did it. We did it, and with the last chance that Auba had. But we moved on. Obviously, we have some feeling towards that team, and we want to put it right. Partey on when we will see his best. He said, "I think this is just starting. I'm starting to get used on how my team play and how the Premier League goes. With everything, with time, everything will be good." Of course, he did talk about his frustration over injuries. I did talk about Granit Xhaka, the importance of winning the Europa League, and he said, "I think it's very important to the club and to the supporters. This club belongs to the Champions League, and we have to do our best to get it where we want to." Thomas Partey, whether we've seen his best, he said, "Yeah. I had a few games, I think against United and against Wolves also. I was able to show what I can do. Due to less games and less training, I have to keep training and keep working to get better to that level." So, I mean, not so many talking points. Okay, Emile Smith Rowe's fitness, that is a big one. He says his closure. Okay, he is close to returning. He's gonna have a full session today to see if he's gonna be involved tomorrow, and we will see where we are with him. Okay, that is it from football.london and their press conference coverage on Mikel Arteta and what exactly he plans to do, and of course Thomas Partey was also involved. But you know what? I think this is a game that we are going to win. But it's not going to be an easy one. And I'll talk about that today in the predicted lineup, and tomorrow in the match preview in the morning. I'll tell you much what I think about this game. It's one that is very hard, but Arsenal will win it. I just have that feeling. My name is Kosi. I'm signing out. Something new is coming, by the way. Something new is coming, so please be ready to support me whenever you can. My name is Kosi, and I sign out for now.